Hello, and welcome back to Drama After Dark. We are here for our second season, talking about Sanditon, which just premiered.
Yes.
I'm Jackie Bruley. This is Andrea Willanen. As always, are you excited?
I am so excited.
I'm so glad to be back.
I am too, and I'm also really glad that I loved these first two episodes of Sanditon.
Girl, yes. These were so good. So, obviously, we're talking about 2 episodes tonight. We talked a little bit about the first episode. We were lucky enough to be able to do a live screening here at WGBH's studio.
And it was super fun.
On the big screen, we got to see those leather pants
In real time.
in all their glory. And we're going to be posting that special, like, sort of short Drama After Dark episode on YouTube and Facebook a little bit later. So we're mostly focusing on episode 2 tonight.
And what's important about that quick episode that we did live in studio is that Erin Delaney got to join us.
Yes, which was so much fun.
And if you don't remember Erin, she was a guest last season, and she is a senior producer for Masterpiece. She's been there since 1993, so she is the best possible resource for talking history of Masterpiece and new seasons like this.
Also, one of the things that I loved talking about Erin is that she's like a huge Austen fan. She's a huge fan of everything Masterpiece does, obviously,
Yes,
but like
yeah.
in particular really likes Austen, and
Yeah.
she's a fan advocate. So she watches the shows with that eye of what we want to see, and then defends it when she needs to. And I really love that about her.
Yeah, it was great. So keep an eye out for that this week, and hopefully we'll get it up soon.
Yeah, it'll be posted shortly. So in the meantime, let's talk a little bit about our favorite moments, mostly from episode 2.
Oh yes, so we're skipping, just so everybody knows, we're skipping our timed recap this week just because 2 episodes is a lot to do in 30 seconds.
I don't know that even you,
I don't
who
think I
think of
could.
as the recap master.
Thank you.
I don't think you could do it.
I don't think I could either, to be honest.
So instead of failing on camera, we'll just skip it.
Yeah, this week. It'll be back next
Well,
week.
yeah, come on. We won't lose it for a week. So,
No.
all right, here's the first one we have of our favorite moments. We just sort of ended on this. Sydney rising out of the ocean like Poseidon. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not blind.
That's how you sell me on a show, let's be honest. That's what I loved about Poldark, and that's what I love about Sanditon. That's generally a lie, because I do like Sanditon for other things. But that moment with Sydney was just a chef's kiss.
Yeah, it really was.
In fan service. I loved it.
The thing that I thought was so interesting is that watching all the tweets coming in as we were for the last couple of hours, you could really see people going back and forth on Sydney. Half of people were like, he's such a jerk, I hate him, he's so mean. And half of the people were like, ugh, hubba, hubba, hubba.
Yeah, well, you know, when a guy comes riding up in leather pants and then immediately goes for a skinny dip in the ocean, it's kind of hard to decide how you feel about him, especially when he calls you the new maid.
Yeah, come on, man.
I think we're all in the same boat as Charlotte, to be honest.
Right, like, I don't think about you. First of all, seems like a lie.
Yeah.
Second of all, well, I'm definitely thinking about you now.
Yeah. Yeah, she was thinking about him when she was running away, I'll tell you that.
Oh my gosh, that poor scarred little girl. Anyway, so that was a favorite for a lot of reasons. Here was one of my personal favorites. I am just obsessed with Esther Denham, who we've been calling Folger's sister because she and her brother have a real
something weird's going on there.
Special relationship, sort of akin to that Folger's ad that was going around on the internet so much in the last.
A lot of long forehead kisses, as we saw in this episode.
Lingering looks, hair brushing.
Well, I brush your hair all the time, but
well, yeah.
That's normal. That's normal between
Everyone
friends,
brushes
right?
each other's hair, right?
Yeah, that's
of
totally
course.
fine.
Oh, so weird. Anyway, I loved the moment where, I think his name is Babington, one of Sydney's friends.
Yes, Babington.
Comes to visit her. He's trying his hardest, he's shooting his shot, and she just eviscerates him. Oh, I loved it.
It was great. Also great that he was like, cool, I'll see you tomorrow.
Some men just like that, I guess.
Hey, that's his jam.
He could have been in a different movie adaptation. Talking 50 Shades of Grey, my friend. Anyway.
Would have been interesting.
Yeah, it would have been. I'm curious to see where that goes and if he succeeds at all. I don't think he will, but I don't know what she's going to have to do to get rid of him.
Well, the thing that I think the reason that keeps coming up is because clearly there's something going on with her brother, Edward, and Miss Denham's charge. Oh my gosh, her name is slipping my mind. Clara. There's clearly something a little weird going on there, and definitely Edward sort of has a lot of, let's say, feelers out in the community.
A lot of irons on the fire.
A lot of irons in the fire.
Oy, oy, oy.
And I'm willing to bet Babington's going to be like a jealousy pawn.
Oh.
But we aren't at our prediction point yet in the story
That's
today.
True. So let's go to our other favorite moment. I don't think we could have picked a better one than Georgiana and Charlotte finally becoming like best friends forever.
Yes. Yes. I love the two of them so much. First of all, and I know we had talked about this after just seeing episode 1 on Wednesday, is we had said they're going to be BFF because they both have the attitude, they both have that sort of guilelessness that seems to be rare in this community.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, so I think it was really great to see the two of them finally connect on something, especially because Georgiana's been having such a hard time. I mean, her story is just heartbreaking, even without knowing what romantic tragedy befell her.
Right. Even the idea of, you know, you grow up so far away from England in a place with probably a nice climate. Warmth.
Pineapples.
And parents.
Yeah.
And then you're orphaned and get dragged back to the most dreary place in the world. Like, I love dreary stuff. I am a fan of it, but that would be really heartbreaking to be so alone.
Yeah.
And the only kind of ally that you have is Sydney.
Who's just generally cranky. That's like if Severus Snape was your ally.
Oh,
You're
God.
like, oh, why?
Bummer. Yeah. I guess this is my life now. Yeah, it's not a cute moment for her, I don't think.
It's not fun, and I think also, you know, the way she's getting treated. We had looked into this with Poldark because we had our character who was in a similar situation in Poldark, and you know, it's not a great era to be a black woman in England.
No, weird.
I mean, let's be honest. It's probably still a difficult era today, but especially here, we're seeing a lot of racial hate going her way, which is difficult.
Right, and what feels like, I wonder if at this time would be considered like a microaggression, but is just like aggressive and terrible. I mean, Lady Denham does not pull her punches at all.
It's true.
And that attempt to get in the carriage to go back to London.
Oh, that was brutal. Yeah, I really feel for her character. So seeing her so happy with Charlotte at the end there was really lovely. Yeah. And also her little attitude with her nursemaid type character was fantastic.
Anytime you can chuck a parasol, I am all about the parasol.
I do it at least once a day.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
Andrea walks in. For those who don't work in the office, you have to know it's true. She walks in, throws an umbrella, and just gets it going.
Every day. And then I wave sadly to my friends on the sidewalk outside.
Bye. Well, so those are some of our favorite moments, and we want to know what your favorite moments are. So I'm going to check the old social media phone and see what our producer has sent our way.
Oh, boy.
Let's take a look.
Let's take a look indeed.
Okay. So this is a great RT from @author LR_Olson. Scenery, setting, costumes, gorgeous. Hard eyes emoji, Sanditon PBS. Hard agree.
Yeah.
With all of that, including the hard eyes emoji.
It's true. We were talking about this just beforehand, how beautiful the costumes in this are. They're truly like, the detail is amazing. And I've been finding, I think, and I could be wrong since I don't have the breadth of knowledge Erin has, I feel like most of these appear to be hand sewn.
They look it.
They look it, and it's the detail in the hand sewing is really, really well done. And Erin had mentioned this on Wednesday night, that a lot of times when you're looking at it, the color and costumes between two people is switched.
Right.
The palette is switched between the two people so they balance each other nicely. And then how the color also tells a story of where that person's from. In the case of Folger's siblings, they wear a lot of black because they're cool kids from the city. But then, you know, we see a lot of whites and sort of pastel earth tones on Charlotte because she's, you know, the
country
pure,
bumpkin.
Naive country bumpkin that she is.
Yeah. Well, we definitely agree with that tweet. Great tweet from @Suzanne Morse. I have one question about top hats, namely, why?
How dare, Suzanne, first of all, madam.
I'm kind of with her on this
How
one.
dare you?
I'm sorry. Look, I think there's a time and a place for a top hat, and I unequivocally stand Demelza's tiny top hat from Poldark, but these are big top hats. These top hats I could hide inside, like a magician's rabbit.
You know what they say is the higher the top hat, the closer to God. I've heard that. Has anybody else?
Oh yeah,
See if somebody heard that in there.
Sure. I'll give you one more tweet right now.
Okay.
From @Patty PCW_. Butts! I love it. You know what, Patty?
Butts.
Same. We we started chanting tall white butts when we saw the men run into the ocean here in the office.
It was a very, very exposed and overexposed scene, if you will.
Quite a vista.
There's a lot of reflection happening.
Yeah, certainly. Well, so keep coming at us with your favorite moments. If you have an appreciation for the top hats or dislike the top hats, we want to know. We also want to know your thoughts on the tall white butts.
And just so everybody out there
Yes.
knows, as a top hat owner, I will fight you in my top hat if you come for the top
Wow.
hats anymore.
As a top hat owner is a sentence I never thought would be uttered here on Drama After Dark, but there we are.
Well, we're fighting in the parking lot after this.
And speaking of a fight,
My top hat's in the car.
let's go on to our next segment. Hot Take Debate!
Yes!
Yeah! I love a good segue when they work out. It's
Right?
nice. All right, so tonight's debate topic is based around the weird bros that
Are we
Sydney-
timing it this time?
I think we're going to give each other our 30 seconds on the clock to make
Oh.
our cases. What do you think?
Deadly. Okay.
Okay, so the question is, Sydney's brought his, like, passel of bros to town. They're a little weird.
Babington jawline man. Yes.
Yes. So the question is, do we think that they're good for Sanditon or that they're not actually making a big impact in a positive
Okay.
way?
All right.
Would you like to go first? I think you have a strong opinion on this.
I do. I do. Yeah, I'll go
Okay.
first.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Put the time on the clock.
And go!
I don't think that they're good for Sanditon at all. Both of them seem like they're total playboys. They're just running around town looking for ladies of easy virtue. And to be honest, why do you want that in your town? They're not there to spend money in a way that will really help the economy. They're mostly like gambling with the bros in town and doing other nefarious things and talking to the Folger sister in ways that aren't helping anybody. I haven't seen them bathing. I haven't seen them going to any shops.
Interesting. Okay, I like
Take
it.
that from you now.
Yes, go ahead. I think I have a good rebuttal for you.
Oh, okay.
A rebuttal,
Oh.
if you will.
Oh.
All right.
Tell me when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, and go.
I disagree. I think that the bros are job creators, Andrea. They are pumping money into the town by helping the young ladies of easy virtue make a living. Also, I think gambling has worked very well for Las Vegas. Perhaps
Okay.
it can work well for Sanditon.
Okay.
Sometimes you just need some bros to pat out your ball. You need some dudes to dance with your ladies, and a lot of those rich ladies are not going to dance with the shopkeepers, so you have to bring in gentry. And also, oh shoot, I ran out of time.
Well, you gave me a couple extra.
One of them is friends with the Prince Regent, so
Oh,
he could
okay.
be a useful connection. Now, are they cads? Yes,
Clearly.
obviously.
We can agree on that.
Yes,
All right.
but I kind of like a cad.
I mean, who doesn't?
Who doesn't? I feel like they add a flair of intrigue. That I don't know if we need more intrigue between what's happening in the woods outside of Lady Denham's
Oh, golly,
house and the sea bathing
Yeah.
and everything, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I will agree to disagree on this. How about that?
All right. Now,
We'll
if-
talk about this in the parking lot with my top hat later.
okay, good.
Okay.
It's going to be an even weirder fight than it was before.
Another word fight from
Yes.
Jackie and Andrea.
Ta-da. Now, if you have a strong opinion either way, we'd love to hear it. I don't think we've really scratched the bottom of the barrel here in terms
No.
of what these guys are up to.
There's a lot more to be said about the cads.
Sure. Now I'm just thinking of what is it? Computer animated design.
Yes.
Computer assisted.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's a nerdy joke, but here we are.
It's a pretty nerdy joke.
So next, we are going on to a segment that you and I both really enjoy. This segment is called Crystal Ballers.
Yes.
So this is where we talk about our predictions for what we think is going to happen on the show. Now, I feel like it's important to tell you all, Andrea and I made these predictions after watching only the first episode.
Yes.
We have since watched ahead a little bit so that we're ready to make the show for you, but we
Yes.
really did just sit down and write these immediately after that first one.
And everybody behind the camera who you can't see is nodding their heads in agreement right now.
they're saying yes, they're virtuous and wonderful hosts and they would never lie. Because we wouldn't.
We wouldn't. We love you. Why would we lie to you?
No, of course. Okay, so here's prediction number 1. I think this is going to be controversial.
Oh,
Clara is a complete snake in the grass.
I stand by it.
I do too. Here's the thing. Narratively, it is so much more interesting if innocent-seeming, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, little, poor relation Clara is out just for Lady D's money and is here
Yeah.
to mess around.
It's true. And I think also the thing, she keeps referring to this dark past that she's had, where she's had to do some horrible things
Yep.
that relate to what she was doing in the woods with Edward.
Yeah, rounding second base, I guess we could say.
Yeah. helping him get rid of the cramp in his thigh,
Yes,
as I said on
giving him a
Wednesday.
hand.
Yeah. So she's referred to that. And so,
Yeah.
you know, clearly she's been in bad situations. So it makes me wonder, how did she, I mean, I'm not someone to blame somebody who's
Right.
been in a situation like that. But because she's being so mysterious about it, I get that that's timely. But at the same time, it makes me wonder exactly what was going on.
Right. I guess the thing that is sort of a bummer to me is I never want to be in a position where I'm looking at a character like that and I don't trust Folger's brother
No.
at all. So like I do believe that he could have forced her hand.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So like her saying that it was not consensual, I fully believe. But
Yes.
I still think
Yes.
she's out for Lady D's money.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
And I think she'll like backstab anybody who gets in her way.
Yeah, and I agree. I think a lot of the stuff she's had to deal with is non-consensual, but I think she's also fighting back how she knows how to.
Someone who is like an innocent poor relation does not hang with like a queen bee badass like Lady D,
Denham. Oof.
and if she can't handle herself, like there's no way she's still hanging around. So
Yeah, I kind of feel she can stand up for herself in a way that we haven't quite seen yet.
but we'll see. Hopefully we're right on this because I love to be right, and I think it'd be fun.
Yes.
So here's prediction number 2. Lady Denham will mentor Charlotte a little bit.
Yes, and we've seen some of that so far
Yeah,
in episode
hints.
2, hints
Right.
of it. And I think it's going to come into play a lot more as we go further and as things get a little more in depth with Sydney.
Right, right. I also think she sees a little bit of like a kindred spirit.
Yes.
So I can't imagine that she wouldn't give her some advice. Now, might that advice be really bad? Potentially. So far, it's been good advice. Stay away
Yeah.
from my weird nephew is
Yes.
like solid grade A advice.
Yes, solid
all
solid
of us.
advice. Yeah. Everybody stay away from Edward.
Don't go near that guy.
Oof.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what we're going to see is she's probably going to be, I think, sort of the wise final word
Right.
to Charlotte when Charlotte comes to sort of a decision point within the series.
I agree.
Again, it might not be good advice, but it'll help Charlotte make a decision.
Yes, I think so. And here's our final prediction. Folger's brother, Mr. Denham, is going to make a move on Charlotte again.
Yes, and I thought that's what was happening at the ball, to be honest, when he was like, oh, what I
Yeah.
was doing wasn't that bad. I thought he was going to be like, maybe you and I should try walking in the woods.
Oh, gross.
But I'm pretty sure it's going to get worse than that. And I kind of worry because Charlotte hasn't been in the situations Claire is in, and I'm not
Right.
sure how she's gonna know how to react in that situation.
She's such an innocent being. She doesn't know
Yeah.
about sex at all. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think as much as she continues to rise in Lady D's estimation, that will be the amount that Folger's brother goes after her. Because
Exactly.
he's like, all about that money, honey.
He is. He's also kind of into her in a creepy way.
Yeah.
And I think the more that she rises in Lady D's estimation and gets closer to her, the more he's going to be like, oh, it's a great ally to have in this game for the throne.
There it is.
There it is. I did it.
Sanditon became Game of Thrones overnight.
Basically, for Lady D's money, yeah, I'm not
Well,
wrong.
And there's weird sibling sexual chemistry, so here we are. Anyway, yeah, so those are our predictions. I'm curious to see if they all come through. Obviously, we had a few more, but we cut some for time, but
We also cut some because in episode 2, they did definitely like
yeah.
Charlotte and Georgiana are going to become BFF. And they did!
Look at that!
We're brilliant.
Look at us.
Truly brilliant.
Anyway, yes. So let's take another quick gander at this here social phone.
Yes.
What have we got from Zach, our producer? Camera work on Sanditon PBS is great. I completely agree.
Yes.
Yeah, and you don't get call-outs for the camera people that often,
No.
so like, celebration of that. Oh ho ho, we have a comment on our Facebook page from Margarita Rogers. Hello.
Hi.
If you have the crystal ball, please tell any chance of Charlotte and the lovely Mr. Stringer getting together.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
So we don't know, but we did think that he's going to be a competition for her heart with Sydney.
Totally. I love
yeah.
young String Bean.
Yes.
He's adorable.
Yes.
He appreciates her intelligence.
Yes.
He doesn't immediately call her out and be a jerk to her.
Exactly. He's just kind of like, you seem really cool and into architecture. Maybe we could hang out. And then she's like, sorry, walking down a path. Bye.
You know, she just is surrounded by dudes who are into her, and some of them can admit it, and some of them can't.
Yeah, some of them just bathe in the ocean and go, stop looking at me.
Keep looking at me. Yeah, I fully agree, though. I do ship it, and I'm hoping that we'll see some more of that. So, yes, okay.
I'm going to be honest, and I said this to you, too. I know Georgiana has a...
Tortured romantic past.
And I know it would be very unusual for this era, but I do kind of hope Georgiana and Stringer find each other.
Oh, tell me more about that.
So I just think, you know, he seems very nice and very accepting of women.
Right.
So there's one point in his honor, and I'm just like, I just think Georgiana needs somebody who's really nice because she has to deal with Sydney all day.
Yes, that she does.
You
and
know?
He's a sweetie.
And
so,
he is.
Yeah. Well, whoever he ends up with, hopefully it's someone nice who deserves him. And
That's true.
Like, not the worst possible endgame, which would be Esther Denham and Stringbean, because she would just murder him immediately, and it would be very sad.
Or Babington would in a horrible duel scene, and we don't need more of that.
No. Anyway, that is our predictions. Thank you for those comments. Keep them coming. We
Yes,
want to hear from you
please.
guys. Now we're going to go on to our next segment, Historical Fact Check.
What, pray tell, is our historical fact check about this week, Jackie?
Well, Andrea, we could not let the situation go without talking a little bit about pineapples.
Ah.
Yeah. So, of course, when we see this like special package, what could it be? Is it a bomb? No, it's a pineapple. Like,
Who's like, oh, did you buy a bomb?
it's going to be a
Yes.
great thing for my dinner party.
Yeah, I
You
do
know.
that all the time.
Well, you know, some people do that 4th of July, you know, kind of. You buy
Fireworks.
firecrackers.
Yeah, I guess, okay. I thought it was a potion.
Ooh, that would be fun. Well, here's the thing about pineapples in this era. They're actually like, that's pretty accurate, and they're a big deal.
Really?
They were like worth the equivalent of $8,000.
Oh my God.
So yeah, she really shelled out for that thing,
That's crazy.
which is a real bummer given how it turned out.
Yeah.
So interestingly, I think everyone has this image of pineapples in hospitality and stuff because we see it in Victorian motifs and you see the carvings of them and stuff. But apparently they were just like, because they were so fancy, they became the ultimate symbol of luxury.
That makes sense.
So
And that makes
people-
sense why Lady Denham,
Right.
of all people, would be the one who's like dishing out for it.
Exactly. And the other thing that I found out that was really interesting is that you could rent them. So it's like, I'm having a fancy party, I need to rent the pineapple to go in the center of my table.
Boy, do I have a business plan for you.
Can you imagine if you were doing that? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know what the equivalent is today, maybe like a chocolate fountain?
No, if you rent like a Tesla for the front of somebody's house.
Oh, yeah. So you look bougie for all your neighbors?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I like
Exactly.
it. I like it.
Let's go in on that. We'll talk. We'll talk.
One more fun pineapple fact for you. Pineapple fun fact?
Fun pineapple fact.
Yeah. It used to be that you would sort of like, one person would buy a pineapple, and then once you were done using it, you would pass it along to your buddy so they could use it.
Oh.
So they would keep passing the pineapples along until they were like disgustingly rotted. Because
Much
you
like
wanted,
this episode.
Yeah, because you want to like get the most out of it.
Yeah.
Except for that she just bought a bad one.
Well, or they could have sold her an old one and not told her.
Right.
Oof.
Right. And you
Ugh.
wouldn't know until you
Yeah.
cut it open in
Yeah.
that situation.
It's true. I have to say, as a half Costa Rican, that was a truly painful moment for me.
That was
Seeing that pineapple. Oh.
Yeah, I personally love pineapple. Obviously, it's a delicious fruit, and that was very sad. But it was great symbolism.
It was for everything.
Yeah.
So much.
That was delightful. Anyway, so that's our pineapple moment.
Lovely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. That was really interesting because I did not know at all
I didn't either, so I was like,
what
I
a
have to look
racket
this up.
pineapples were.
Yeah, the pineapple like bandits. Imagine if you were just like stealing pineapples from rich people's houses, selling them on the black market.
I'm the Robin Hood of pineapples.
Yeah, I
That-
steal
yeah.
from the rich and give to myself, and I eat them in the corner.
I do not want to eat that pineapple.
No, not that one.
No, thank
Certainly
you.
not. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to our next segment. My personal favorite to say, your least favorite to say.
Well, to hear.
If you like this,
Yes.
yeah, our recommendation segment where we say some shows that we think that you at home should watch.
So what is our recommendation this week, Jackie?
We actually have 2 recommendations this week.
Okay.
And there's a theme.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
And the 2 shows are Poldark and Grantchester.
Of course.
And the theme is naked swimming.
It's true.
So here's the thing. If you liked the tall white butts, the gleeful gallivanting of the
Yes.
gentleman into the ocean.
Yes.
If you liked Sydney Poseidoning out to Charlotte and then being weirdly nonchalant about it, you might also enjoy Poldark.
Yes.
Because as you may recall,
Yeah. As we all recall fondly, Aidan Turner does a lot of, oh no, I've gotten into the water again. How did that happen? Oh, time to think about something. Guess I better go swim naked.
yeah, and Demelza is peeping over the
Yeah.
cliffs, or various people peep. On
Yeah,
Poldark,
I mean,
guess.
who doesn't? I'm pretty sure everybody in that show was like, oh, did somebody say Ross was going for a swim?
Here we go. George is like running down the hill.
Yeah.
Gotta take a look.
We don't even know how he got that buff in this era. I guess scything.
Gotta do it.
Yeah, and so that show definitely serves up a lot of that, but it also serves up a lot of the same romance, at least in the first season, between Ross and Demelza. There's a lot of that will they or won't they,
Right.
which very quickly becomes they will.
Yeah.
But throughout, there's a lot of romance up and downs between them.
Yeah.
And I think you get a lot of that flavor here too, that romantic flavor of this, and the naked swimming, and the beautiful seaside in England.
Yeah, it's a real soul match. kind of.
Exactly. It has a lot of the spirit of this.
Now, in terms of another show that has great will they or won't they, and does also have some nude swimming, you couldn't leave Grantchester off the list.
Yes. It's another masterpiece.
One of our favorite hot priests
Yes.
is out here taking a dip.
We're just saying we did the hot priest first.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Fleabag, but get on our
Whatever.
level. The other thing I will say, I got a great, I saw a tweet from a friend that said, can we talk about how Grantchester has an actual hot priest and the priest that started episode 2 of Sanditon is horrifying?
Yes.
Yes, we can. Julia, you're right.
Yes.
He's gross.
It was scurry.
Yeah.
I do have to say, he starts talking, and even the people in the audience are a little like, no.
One of the many reasons that I love Folger's sister, Esther Denham, so much is that she has one of the best side eyes during that speech about like youthful blooming flowers, where she just does the most aggressive eye roll I think I've ever seen.
I think
committed to
she
camera.
sprained something, to be
Yeah,
honest.
just like a full
Yes.
rotation.
Yeah. But you don't have to deal with a priest like that in Grantchester.
No,
No.
he's delightful.
Thankfully.
And he solves crimes. What
It's
more
true.
could you want?
You can't ask for much more. And also, if one hot priest isn't enough for you, just get to the most recent season, and then you got 2. It's awesome.
Yeah, so don't miss that.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a quick look at our next segment.
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
I am.
It's our ranking of the day.
Yes.
Yay. Okay, so this is our top 5 characters so far.
Okay.
Now, we've only seen 2 episodes, so like it's a little early in the game, but we are pretty confident that we're going to continue enjoying these 5
A
individuals.
lot of these individuals.
for the next several
Yes.
episodes. Okay, so in the number 5 spot, we've talked about her a lot. I will never stop talking about her. It's Esther Denham.
Esther.
Oh my goodness. Her outfits fly.
Yes.
Her mood, horrifying.
Oh, fantastic.
Her taste in men,
I think
not
I'll
great.
poison her. Is just living in infamy for me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to embroider that. I'm going to frame it, and I'm going to hang it right there.
Please do, because then I could look at it every day.
And sigh longingly. Also, her fashion. Oh my God, her fashion.
Yes.
That collar was everything for me.
I don't think I'll ever be over that high collar.
No, or the hair with that.
Oh
It was
my God.
very like, to me, it felt very Titian painting wise.
Yes.
She has a big vibe of Renaissance paintings in her outfits.
And I love a like scheming meanie who's just universally kind of a jerk because that is fun to see.
She's also, what I love, is I love a funny, mean character.
Yes.
And she has a lot of unintentional comedy in this.
Yep.
And it's a lot of fun to see, you know, with the hairbrushing, like, you're like, oh, this is weird. And then she immediately goes, ow. And you're like, I like it though.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this because it's hilarious.
Right.
And the poisoning and the being generally dreadful.
Oh, God bless her. Anyway, she's number 5 and we continue to love her forever
Yes.
and ever.
Fantastic.
In the number 4 spot, Lady Denham.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Look,
how could we not?
now every Austen seems to need to have, it's what a truth universally acknowledged that a Jane Austen adaptation has to have a really scary rich old lady. We got one.
I mean, future goals, right?
Yeah.
Squad goals on
Oh,
that.
Absolutely. I mean, except for that we will be like 9,000,000% more woke.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
going to be, Some of the things she said at her dinner party.
Ooh, girl. Yeah.
Ha.
I will say, I love that she one of our first interactions with her is her saying to Charlotte, like, everyone's after my money. I mean, I guess I can't complain. I got rich by marrying a rich guy
Yeah.
and then waiting for him to die.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like,
Also with that,
own your story.
with that introduction, she immediately like, they arrive back from Charlotte's side of the country,
Yeah.
question mark, I don't know where that is.
Who knows?
Yeah.
The countryside.
And immediately get home to Lady Denham, like, stomping in through their front door, being like, where have you been? Why aren't we rich yet? Love it. She knows what she's about.
That's how I would like to enter a room.
That's how you enter a room.
It's true.
Every morning,
Andrea
I throw a
goes-
parasol, you demand why we're not rich yet.
Look, I gotta ask these questions. It's the
It's
important stuff.
Somebody needs to ask them.
Speaking of rich, number 3 spot, and I think swiftly climbing,
Yes.
Georgiana.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
Georgiana. Georgiana is bae. Let's just put it out there now. She is bae.
Yes. Everything about her is amazing. Her
Yes.
attitude, incredible.
Yes.
The way that she deals with jerk Sydney and jerk Lady, I mean
Yes.
jerk everybody.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yes.
She doesn't take any crap from anybody.
No.
When people flirt with her poorly, she's just like, okay, sweaty, goodbye.
I also just love Edward's like, so where are you from? What are you doing? And she's like, bad flirting. And he's like, who's your favorite poet?
Which, oh, come
Blah.
on, dude, blah.
And then she immediately is like, no. And turns away. It's,
Yeah.
She knows what she's about. The one, I do love her. The one reason she's number 3 on this list right now is because we had disagreed on her a little bit. I
did.
do think that sometimes she gets a little too caught up in being mad at the world.
Yes.
You know, if
That's
you
fair.
can't appreciate Arthur, what are you doing here?
Well,
Why are you in Sanditon?
let's not do too much about Arthur because we're going to get to him in a hot minute. Spoiler alert, we're going to talk about Arthur. But yes, I think
Yeah.
I think that she's in a really difficult position, but
she is.
also compared to some of these other characters,
Yeah.
she's got an enormous amount of wealth. I think we looked it
Yes.
up and it's something like
$3.4 million or
in
something?
2008 in England, so it would actually be something like
Like 6.7.
yeah, like many millions of
Many
dollars.
millions of dollars.
And, you know, it still sucks
A
to
whole
be single
100,000.
and
Yeah.
female in this era, but that's a lot of cash. That's a lot of green.
And black.
Yes. Yes.
She's having a
Plus
hard day.
the racism.
Plus the racism.
But
Yeah.
I'm excited to see her story
Yeah.
continue.
I'm not saying it's wrong for her to feel the way she feels.
Right.
I just think, like, I'm going to start enjoying her. Like, I enjoyed her a lot more when she started cottoning on with Charlotte.
And speaking of Charlotte,
Yes.
she's our number 2.
Oh, baby.
I think we can't help but like Charlotte because she's very smart. She's paying really good attention to what's going on around her. And she's just such a nice person. I want to hang out with her.
Yeah, I think she's a sweet, tiny, naive baby, and there's something in my cold-hardened soul that loves me a tiny baby character,
Yeah.
much like Morwenna.
Oh.
You can't not love Morwenna. You just want to protect them.
Yeah, you want to wrap her in a little blanket and
Yeah.
be like, it's
Yeah.
okay.
I'll carry you around Sanditon so that you can see everything, but I won't let you talk to any of these horrible men.
Right. Well, and the good thing about her is that even though Sydney is horrible to her, she quickly is just like, all right, boy, bye. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to be a jerk, I don't need you.
Yeah, exactly. She is not afraid to stand up for herself, and that is what we love about her.
Much more self-possessed than I
Yes.
would have been in that position.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I probably would have said some much more vulgar things and then stomped off
Yes, or punched him
in
his
my fancy new
smug
blue
face.
shoes.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, those shoes. Now, I think we've got to talk about our number 1, our favorite, our forever love, Arthur Parker.
Arthur Parker, a man of many talents, but mostly drinking wine
Yep.
and making toast.
What more do you need?
Really, what else do you need in a man?
I love Arthur.
Arthur's amazing, and we found out a fun fact about him today, right?
We did find out a fun fact from
Now,
Twitter.
From Twitter, keep in mind we didn't fact check this, but it sort of reads correctly.
Yes, when I started to look at his face, I was like, "Oh, you're right."
Yes.
Same actor as Tom Harry.
The dastardly Tom Harry,
In
too.
Poldark.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I like him much better as Arthur,
I
personally.
do too. I mean, he was very good in that role, but I
Yes.
will say, I love a guy who is very willing to just be like, "All right, I guess I'm doing this."
Yeah, any man who's that excited about carbs is like,
Yeah.
we relate. He's speaking my love language.
And it bears repeating, I said this on our screening on Wednesday night, I choose to believe that he carries his toasting fork with him wherever he goes, so that should
I
he
agree.
need to toast a toast, he's
Yeah.
ready to toast it.
I agree.
Shing.
And I think the fact that Georgiana can't love and accept a drunken man of carbs has really lowered her on my list. However, we can check back next week.
Yes. Yeah. Not to spoil anything, but we know something about next week's episode. Anyway, those are our 5 favorite characters. I
Yes.
think that the rankings will probably shift.
Oh, they're
as time
definitely,
goes
I'm
on.
going to be honest, the more we see of Georgiana, the more I love her. So
Yes.
she's definitely getting higher on the list.
I adore her.
Yes.
Yeah. And we, of course, want to hear what your favorite characters are. If you think we got it wrong, please tell us. We'd love to know that kind of stuff. And speaking of, let's look for our comment of the day.
Oh, comment
What
of
have
the
we
day.
got? Okay.
Oh, is that another comment on ours?
Oh, yes. Joan Buck says, wasn't there a pineapple in Victoria and Abdul? I believe that there was.
That sounds about right.
Yes.
Very smart.
Yes, I think there was. Great point. Thank you for pointing that out. We also have a really great tweet at Dewey Dinosaur, and it's Dewey spelled like the Dewey Decimal System, so I am already a fan.
Fan.
I couldn't imagine taking on the task of finishing an unfinished Austen novel.
yes.
But PBS did it. On that note, Sanditon is such an interesting story.
It is.
It is.
It is. And a fun behind the scenes on this that we talked about with Erin is that basically all Austen did was get the setting, or create the setting and create the characters. So it's really an amazing playground for any author taking it on. And
Yeah.
Andrew Davies, who's taken it on here, has taken on so many more Austen stories that he has a
yes.
real feeling for them.
He does.
And I think one of his talents is modernizing Austen in a way that connects better with us.
Right.
So I think we see a lot of that here, and I definitely, for one, enjoy it.
I did too. And I think we'll, in fact, call that our comment of the day.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Thank you,
okay.
Dewey.
Yeah, that was great. And we are really excited to see where this adaptation takes us because I think
Yes.
it's going to be a wild ride.
I heard there's aliens in the last episode.
God, can you imagine? I want to believe.
Wait, I have to add that into Crystal Ballers. Oh, missed my opportunity.
Dang it, Andrea, you missed it. And with that, I think we will start to wrap up here.
Yes, yes. So thank you so much for joining us this week. We had a lot of fun talking about episodes 1 and 2 of Sanditon.
sure did.
Next week we will be back, I believe, an hour earlier than today at 10 p.m.
Yes, normal time.
Normal time.
Not so late.
So join us after the show next week, and please remember that it's 10 p.m. because we don't want to miss you guys.
Yeah, don't miss it.
And that's it. So have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.